Oh, buddy. What's going on, guys? Sorry for a little bit of a late start. We had a storm that was rolling through here, and I had to wait until kind of the storm passed because I don't want to stream at the same time of a thunderstorm going off and then suddenly losing power and, stream cutting out and everybody crying and rioting at their computers to not being able to see me. So I figured I'd just wait it out, but here we are now. Starting another one of our exciting editions of researching some vanilla quests. I should probably log into EverQuest here. On the right account. Geez, I don't know which account I'm using. But we've done a lot of research on this channel as far as with which quests are good and which quests are not, and we've got a pretty good holistic kind of view on what it's like to kind of quest at the beginning of EverQuest. I mean, EverQuest in its name and of itself has a bunch of quests in it, but a lot of those quests are really just designed for a couple factors there. They're designed for, where's my game at? Hello game? Would you like to capture the game for me, please? We're so used to having quests and stuff from games where you do quests to get experience, gold, items, what have you. But in EverQuest, the questing system is a little bit different. It's a lot of the questing that you do is surrounds either faction or it surrounds getting items, and items being the big one because we're so used to the Worlds of Warcraft or the other style MMOs where you kill a monster and it drops a magic item and hey, now I got a magic item, right? EverQuest doesn't have that, so you don't just find random magic items around unless you're on live you can do that, but on like the TLPs and with like even P99, you don't just find magic items like just laying around. They're usually off of rare mobs. There is the off chance of having a kind of a global item that may drop within a zone. I've seen that happen a couple times. But overall, I mean, it's probably the first time you'll ever experience an item like that in a global would be like in Kunark. If you go to Chardok, you might find a global item that drops off of something like a Sarnak shield or even like the Bard weapon that drops down there. There's kind of those universal items that will drop, but it's not common. It's not typical from an EverQuester's standpoint to just find magic items. That's not a thing. So we've kind of traveled around the world. In playing this game, we've done dwarves, we've done gnomes, we've done halflings. We did halflings last session. We also did Hallis, which was barbarians, which was kind of neat. They have a little handful of quests there, but it's a very dangerous trek. You have to get through Blackburrow, and if you aggro the gnolls in Blackburrow, you're pretty much dead. But there is the elixir quest from Hallis that you could do, which, it's pretty easy to do. It's not going to require much in the ways of worrying about aggroing mobs so much. And you could repeat that quest over and over. It's just that the rewards were not really good, and you'd have to repeat it quite frequently to get enough experience for level 2. But you could do it. You could theoretically do it. The path we chose with Hallis was essentially there was a couple quests off of Einhorst that you could do, which is in West Corona. It's not too far. We picked up those 2 quests for Einhorst. We picked up the quest for the mail, to deliver the mail for the Postmaster's quest, which is a very good quest. Anytime you play EverQuest, always look up the Postmaster's quests. Most good races can do a Postmaster's quest. Most evil races kind of get screwed out of Postmaster's quest just because it's not vanilla. It's one of those few quests that show up in TLP, but it's not a vanilla quest. but you can still do it, and it's still worth a lot of money. Like, if you ever start out on a TLP and you play like a gnome, the gnome Postmaster quest is one of the best ones. It's 9 gold. You deliver it from Steamfont to Kelethin, which isn't too far. And you can just repeat it. So basically you start in Steamfont, you take the letter, get to Kelethin, deliver the letter to the Bard's Guild, die, rinse, repeat, rinse, repeat. You could, I did it with my druid. I basically bound my druid in Steamfont and made that trek maybe like 10 times, got myself 9 platinum, and was able to buy myself like a suit of leather armor with that. Well, not a full suit, but you know, a good handful of pieces, and I could buy all my spells, and I'd had enough to actually get started on the game without actually having to kill anything. And the experience actually from that quest is not too bad either. Once you get to level 2, it's about 5% per turn-in, which, I mean, is not that great. So, dwarves actually have it better. The nice thing about dwarves is they can do 3 Postmaster quests. And that involves actually stopping by Felwith, but there's a Postmaster quest in Caladim. There's a Postmaster's quest actually on the shores, on the docks that take you to Ocean of Tears. And there's a Postmaster quest in Caladim, Felwith. Okay, so that's 3. So you can just go gather them all, and then you all go to Kelethin, and you just turn them all in. And it nets you about, I want to say it nets you like a platinum and a half to do that run, plus each Postmaster quest turn-in is like 14.5%. So really fast leveling for dwarves. All you have to do is just travel. And the tricky part about traveling is that, you know, if you're starting on a new TLP, you can, you know, purchase a speed potion for like 90 cents, and you can make the run much quicker, so then it becomes a little bit more advantageous with faster running. And it helps you make money a little bit faster. But that's the kind of that was pretty much the only real quests you could do, unless you were a rogue, or you had minor, I think it's minor 628 faction. The minor 628 faction, they have a handful of quests. All rogues guilds tend to have more handfuls of quests in the various zones. But the dwarves in particular had one that allowed you to turn in like basically giant rat furs, and it was really good experience. Like, I was impressed on how good the experience was. But the only place that the giant rat furs spawn is in the actual mines, which are level 3. So a little hard to do for a level 2 or level 1 rogue. You can also get them in Kinos. I actually went to Kinos and tested it out, and you can actually use the furs from there too. I don't think the furs stack either, and you have to turn in 4 to get the blast of experience for it. So, the minor 628 faction, though, is not very easy to get. That's one of the big major problems with that quest. So if you're not a rogue, a dwarf rogue in particular, you're not going to have much luck doing the quest outside of the faction. So, I think you have to be either a Brel's worshiper, because I made a paladin, and I think I was able to do the quest as a paladin. Not 100% sure. I might have been just indifferent, but you have to be amiable, and that's kind of where it gets you. Because if you had to be just indifferent, it would be much better, because with indifference, you can just simply go invisible or hide or whatever and do the quest that way. But I mean, dwarves don't really innately come with the hide ability, so. But yes, so we did dwarves. We did Eurydites. Eurydites had some of the best questing chains, which involved doing the Euryds tonic, which is very easy to do. And their Postmaster quest, which nets you about 6 gold. So, I mean, you do the Postmaster's quest once, and then you can start doing the Euryds tonic, because it requires like 6 silver. And then you just rinse and repeat that. You only have to do it like once or twice, and it only takes about 10 minutes to do. So, in theory, some of the best mages, and most of the research I've been doing is with mages, just because once you get to level 2 with a mage, it's really easy to farm up to like, I don't know, level 20 with a mage, just because of just how powerful they are. Their direct damage spells just do so much damage, and their pets, especially their water pets and their air pets, are like unmatched when it comes to a solo environment. But like with the Eurydites, it really made it easy for getting up to level really quick. So getting to level 2 takes about 11 minutes if you do the Urids Tonic and the Postmaster quest. And once you get to level 2, then you have enough money to pretty much buy your spells, because you're going to have about 2 platinum by the time you finish all of that. So you can buy all your spells, and you can buy enough malachite to summon your pet. You can get like 6 or 7 pieces. And then you're pretty much on your road to working on level 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 or whatever. But the thing is, though, is that if you're starting new on a TLP, you're pretty much in contention with a lot of people on demand of monsters. It's a little difficult to hunt on new TLPs because it's just everything is just so overcrowded. That's why I kind of wanted to do the research on what quests you could actually do to level up. So like in a crowded TLP, you could probably get a Eurodite if you just kept repeating the quest over and over. You can get them to 3 really easy, so it wouldn't be too bad. But most of the other classes I haven't found much in the ways of what quests really net you some really good experience. The only quest out there that really nets you good experience is the Red Wine quest, which is, if you ever played a Dark Elf, there's a Red Wine quest in the 3rd gate of Neriak that every single piece of the red wine nets you about 1% experience. I mean, it's really good experience at level 1. And the path we chose with Dark Elves was, with a Dark Elf character, you can do the Postmaster's quest as long as you're agnostic. And you can do pretty much the delivery quest to the Troll out in Ocean of Tears, which nets you about 2 to 4 platinum. If you get 3 platinum at least, you can level up to level 2 just from one trip. So if you travel fast enough with a Dark Elf, you can manage. The only problem is, though, is that to travel in the Ocean of Tears, you'd have to spend money, or you'd have to basically get a sow potion and a levitation to make it easier, but you don't have to. I've done it without, so. But Dark Elves have kind of that interesting dynamic of being able to do that quest to get fast money, and then you could use all that money to basically buy red wine and get to level 2 instantly. And then what I did with the Dark Elf, actually, is I actually hunted in Ocean of Tears at the little goblin camps to the northwest of Ocean of Tears. They ranged between level 4 to level 7. And it was really good experience for a mage, especially since my pet is level 5, I can do good damage, and they were pretty much solo pulling, so I had a really easy time with the Dark Elf and actually getting her. I mean, I soloed a Dark Elf in Ocean of Tears to like level 15, and all it was just fighting birds and fighting goblins. There was not much to it, and it was in areas that not many people went to, and in a new TLP, I mean, that's really the big demand. But if you can get a Dark Elf out to Ocean of Tears, and then whenever you get to a certain point and you need to go back, you can Origin back, or you can just die if you're pre-6. Go grab some spells, and then go grab the Troll quest again, and then go back out there, turn the Troll quest in, get another 2 to 4 platinum, and basically level up that way. And if you keep rinsing and repeating that, I mean, you're going to make money really quick, because the goblins out there in Ocean of Tears each drop a bow, which is worth about 2 gold. They can drop you a full suit of cloth armor. It's a very good place to go, especially if you're a caster, if you're a mage. So, but that was kind of our experience with Dark Elves. Dark Elves was not too bad, as long as you're agnostic. If you try to go out there and you're in a rook, you can't go through the sewers in TLPs. Sewer travel in TLPs is like unheard of at low levels, just because the sewers have level 10 aggro mobs in there now because they ruined it. Versus like if you're just agnostic, Guards won't bother you, and you can just travel through. You just can't take any side roads. Gnomes didn't really have any quests. The only quest you have for gnomes is the postmaster. They do have a 10-slot bag quest that you can do. You have to be around 3rd level, though, to kind of complete it, because you have to kill a higher level mob. But I think by the time you hit to level 2, you can do the quest, and then you can get your 10-slot bag with 10% weight reduction. It's lore, but that's kind of a free bag that you can get from gnomes as long as you have Gem Choppers faction. We haven't touched half-elves yet. We haven't done Kinos yet. We haven't done the Ranger Town yet. I don't know if the Ranger Town has any quests, so... Halflings have a weird assorted of quests. 2 of them involve actually finding an item on the ground. One of them spawns like every 10 minutes, and the other one spawns every 30 minutes. So when you start a halfling, the very first thing you're going to do is find those 2 items and pick them up. And the next thing you're going to work on is you're going to grind out Deep Pockets faction, which is, there's a quest you can do. I think it's the Carrots quest. You basically deliver a box of clerics to the Deep Pockets, and you just do that quest repeatedly, probably about 10 times, because you need 50 faction. And then you can turn in the 2 items that you got. And then by the time you've done the repeat quest and return in those 2 items, they might have respawned by then, so you can just turn them in again. Kind of a good blast of experience, because the long spawning debt item that's on the ground near Mangler, which you can pull through the wall, you don't even have to go in the room, is worth like a huge chunk. It's worth like 25% experience, so, and it's good money. But yeah, that was our experience with halflings. Felwith, there was not much of anything for Felwith. Felwith had just the Postmaster's quest. Most of the other quests that were involved with the High Elves, there wasn't much of any, which is kind of sad. There's a couple quests that you can do with Batwings, but we've been avoiding trying to kill stuff. We just want to get experience fast. And the Postmaster quest was the only one that really offered anything, and it was only like 3 gold. So not very impressed with the Felwith. And this also includes Kelethin too. So like with the Wood Elves, the Kelethin quests are horrible. There are no real quests for Kelethin other than actually having to kill stuff. And that's kind of sad, because Kelethin is a big city, and there is barely anything in there to actually do quest-wise. But Ogres and Trolls pretty much have all kill quests. There's no Postmaster quests, so you can't get money really quick. And you're pretty much left with only being able to kill stuff and gather their meaty bits and turn them in for something. So you're kind of stuck if you're playing a troll or an ogre. My only suggestion would be get to Dark Elf Town, get to Neriak, and nope, you can't do a Postmaster quest there either. So I don't know what you do with ogres and trolls, honestly. You're basically left with just having to kill on ogres and trolls. And we've also just been looking at Vanilla Quest too. So Vanilla Quest is pretty much where it's at. I'm not interested in doing the Planes of Power quests because, you know, most TLPs that come out, you know, I want to be able to educate people in some of the quests that you can do just straight off the bat to gain that kind of upper advantage on other people. So, so that leaves us with humans right now. So we have to do Freeport. We haven't done Freeport and we haven't done Kinos. So, hey, what's going on, Wolfie? We haven't done Freeport and we really haven't done Kinos. I've taken a look at Kinos quests when I was doing the Erudite. So I have some familiarity. But I'm going to take a peek at it today to see if there's anything really worth doing. But a lot of the quests that are left with the humans for Freeport, I have to sift through a lot of them because there's some that are out of era too. What am I doing Monday? I don't know. I'm going to work on Monday, I know that. I'll be at work. I'll be working on premise on Monday starting. I'm going to try and see if I can go into work every day next week. But yeah, so mages. I do love mages. Actually, she looks pretty good. I just wanted to change her eyes to like a blue. She's got that red hair going on there. All right. Fanthalina, perfect. She doesn't have a whole lot of int though. 110 int, actually, that's not too bad. Yeah, that's not too bad. Erudites, though, my goodness, have 42 in, I think. Huge difference. Definitely a huge difference. All right, I'm going to go with agnostic, just in case. I don't know if that's going to bar us from doing other quests, but I guess we'll find out. We're currently on Mangler too, so Aerodune is so bad right now. I was doing some alts on Aerodune. I wanted to actually do some legitimate research on Aerodune just because it is actually legitimately in their current era of vanilla, but the problem is the queue times are just so bad. It's such bad queues right now, and I don't know if they fixed them over the course of the patch that was yesterday. But, yeah. So, that's a thing. I'm gonna go ahead and turn in my thingy so I can get my purple robe. Probably smells like raspberries. My robe smells like raspberries. Alright, so Arcane Scientists. That's basically the Mages Guild here. There are actually a handful of quests that the Arcane Scientists can do. That is specific to their order. Arcane Scientist, I'm amiable with. 300 points to Kindly. No, I answered your question. I said I'm going to work tomorrow. Or I'm going into work on Monday. This water is like pure. It's really weird. Can I walk on it? Nope, it's actually legitimate water. I don't want to swim. Okay. Does that mean we are getting lunch? I mean, we can. I don't care. We can go pick up some of our favorite evergreen. But I will be at work on Monday, so. Alright, so time to look at some of the quests in here. There is one quest in particular. It's called the Muffin Quest. The Muffin Quest is actually very popular. And the reason why is because back in Velios, if you did Tunair if you killed Tunair in Velios, you would have no Kelethan faction. So the way to recover for your Kelethan faction is that you would do the Muffin Quest. And the Muffin Quest is a very effective way to get Tunari faction with mostly just the Wood Elves and with the High Elves. They're really big on Tunari, so you want to plan it? I mean, sure. I mean, if you want to send a message out to our task force, you can send a message out to our task force. We don't have money though for any sort of muffin quest because we'd have to buy muffins. They're about 7 copper a piece, and we have like none. So the only way we could probably get money is if we did a postmaster quest. But the postmaster quest, postmasters for Freeport, is going to take us probably to some really weird places. So Freeport to Kelethan, that's going to be quite a run. All right, I'll be here, Wolfie. Freeport to Kelethan would be kind of a run. But if we went from Freeport to Kelethan, we could technically pick up like 4... We would pick up 4 postmaster quests. So, I mean, we could try it. But it's going to take up quite a chunk of time. But we do have a translocate, though. So we can just translocate over there and then just run our way. So... first, what I need to do is I need to look at Bree Walls. I need to find out where the Freeport to Kelethan is. Ton 2 string. So Ton 2 string. See if... nope, not in this zone. So I don't know if he's in West or East. He's in East Freeport, and we are in West Freeport right now. So what we need to do is, first, we need to get out of here. And we will go ahead and start with the Postmaster's Quest. Now, if we end up doing 4 turn-ins for the Postmaster Quest, that's going to net us a huge chunk of not only change, but also a lot of experience, because we'll be accruing around we'll be accruing around four letters, because we could stop at Caledon, we could stop at Felwith, we could stop everywhere, because it's all going to Kelethin. So that's not too bad. Being able to do the postmaster quests so far in the chain, and you could technically do this with any of the good races. You could, and it would not actually be a bad idea either, because all that's involved really is just the ability to run fast. So if you were starting on a new server, my suggestion to you would be not necessarily just playing a human, but my suggestion would be, if you can take advantage of the postmaster quests, do it. It's probably some of the fastest experience you can get as a starting character. And if you can get enough in the chain and go to one location to turn them all in, like, for example, the postmaster quest to Kelethin, there is 5 different postmaster quests. The only one we're not getting in this postmaster chain is going to be Akanon. And mostly it's because Akanon is way out of the way. So that's the only reason why we're not doing Akanon. But Butcher Block is on that list, Felwith is on that list, Freeport's on that list, and Caledon's on that list. And since we can just translocate from Freeport over to... since we can just translocate right over, instead of having to take a boat or anything like that, it kind of speeds up the process. But having to go to each city is going to take time. That's a little time consuming. So we need to look up Ton. He's probably at the Bard's Guild, I'm thinking. No, actually, yeah, he's at the Bard's Guild. So this will be our first stop. We're only going to do this once because I'm just interested to see. There's no EXP bonus right now either. Last stream on Tuesday, when we were playing the Halflings and we were playing the Barbarians, there was an EXP bonus. It was kind of skewing our numbers. The EXP bonus was about 25%, which ironically, when you have an EXP bonus that is given by the server, it also affects quests, which is kind of nice. But if you're taking an EXP pot, I think the EXP pot doesn't affect quests. I think it's only for kills. But, I mean, don't quote me on that. It may be that any experience source, you get a bunch of experience anyway. So that might be an interesting thing to do. As far as with your leveling up an early character, you get yourself a 50% pot, and if there's an EXP bonus on the server, you could find yourself leveling really quick. Just by doing the Postmaster quest. Where is this guy at? Is he inside? Is he outdoors? But yeah, the Postmaster quest, though, actually stems from Alaris. I don't even know what Alaris is. That's the... I gotta say Kelethin here. Oh, he gives me a whole bag. Take this pouch to Idia in Kelethin. Make sure the Bard Guild Hall compensate for your troubles. Okay, so he gives me a whole bag. I don't know. Pouch of mail. Okay. Now, the one thing is, though, is the one thing you don't want to do, though, is when you're doing the Postmaster quest, don't die. The items are temporary, and they're a weird kind of temporary, so if you end up dying and you have the temporary item on you, you'll end up losing it, and then you'll have to go and pick up all the quests all over again and do that whole rigmarole, which would not be fun. That is Chinese for dingus. What is Chinese for dingus? I'm sure you're pretty much excited now for Chinese. Having to take it to go, though, has not been as good as actually eating it there, so I will warn you about that one. Oh, hello. Somebody's playing a barbarian rogue. Why, I couldn't tell you. I can understand barbarian shamans, but like anything that is not able to gate, I don't understand how you could settle with only having your origin point there and not being able to gate back anywhere. Because how do you... I mean, if it's Plains of Power, yes, it's fine. But if it's Velios or Kunark or even Lucklin, like, it is a pain in the ass to get anywhere from Hallis. It is just insane. And it's the reason why people don't play Barbarians as much on this server. You will see the stray barbarian here and there, but for the most part, most people don't play barbarians. Are you aggroed on me? Oh my god, you are. Why is he aggro? Oh. Dale Jornan. Alright. Dale Jornan. I don't know why he's aggro. Dale Jornan. Pirate connected to the pirate camp and the other island spawns every 6 minutes. Has a big aggro range. Drops a pirate earring. Inhabitants of Feronia Vi. Oh, he's a pirate of Gunthak, but the why? Okay. Alright, we're gonna do this all over again. We just have to be quick, I guess. Why they put him there, I don't know. Or maybe he was just aggro to that point. Who knows? It's going to take me all the way here, though. I have to travel through. I might have to make a macro for Butcher Block. So let me go ahead and do that real quick. And you'll also notice that I don't have the bag anymore because I died. That kind of ruins things a little bit, though, at least from traveling from Freeport over there. But I'm interested to know if that guy is always up, because if he is on base server, like if he's in vanilla, which I don't know if he is, but if he is, I would love to farm him on my mage. He's only level 25. So, but yeah, so we're going to have to build a macro. It's going to be basically, we got to just say Butcher Block. Say Butcher Block. Make sure we don't spell it wrong. Okay. And then we got to get to the TLP or there fast enough and not die. And then it should be pretty easy. And it's just a translocator, so, but you have to be close enough, and he has a cast time. So not only do we have to get close enough to say it to him, which I'll just spam it, but then we have to wait a cast time before, so it's all going to be timing. It's all going to be a tricky timing mechanic right now. But we're going to need to get past this first hump, and we've gotten past worse things than this. I mean, in Hallis alone, when we were doing the letter quest, we essentially had to get through Blackburrow, and Blackburrow at level 1, mind you, we were level 1. There was level 5, 6, 7, 8 level mobs that were just sitting there waiting for us, but for some reason we weren't aggroing them, so I was pretty happy about that. But it was a little tricky. But we were able to skirt around them, and then we ended up aggroing one of them. I think he was like level 8, and we were able to just scoot by and not really worry about it, so it was fine. We made it through it. We made dreams come true, that's for sure. Yeah, I really, really hate New Freeport. This is so bad. This would be one of the advantages of playing on the P99, is having the old world zones. That and the fact that P99 is free. Alright, say this again, Calithin. I'm wondering if there's a... I am curious if there is actually a soul binder here. If I do a find, I can do a soul binder. And there is a soul binder here. And she's back a ways. But I will go ahead and take this short trip just in case if we die again. Last thing I need is to start back in West Freeport every time we do this. So that'd be a little frustrating. Theater of the Tranquil. Must be a Quellius theater. I wonder if the bards here actually worship Quellius. Who knows? This, ironically, though, doesn't really tell us much about the quests that are in Freeport, but I'm just curious to see how good the experience is if we do just a single run. Now, it is a little bit time-consuming. Say, bind my soul. Thank you. So now we are actually... Can I do it from here? Can I do it from here? There we go. It's perfect. That's what I need. As far away as possible. But I'm interested to see how good the experience is from just this chain, and see how well we can survive too. The trek from Butcher Block to Greater Fate Arc, which is where Kelethan is at, can be a little tricky. There are some. If you follow the road, it tends to be pretty safe, but you do have the off chance of running into an ogre. You do have the off chance of running into the Orc Runner, which the Orc Runner is actually for a quest, but I think it's a level 5 quest, so we really didn't do it. So there is a handful of little quests here and there that are above level 1, but most of the quests that I look at are pretty much just level 1 quests. All right, so we got to make a book. We got a book for it here. Now the only problem is if that pirate doesn't reset in his location, he's going to instantly kill us. So we'll see how this goes. The alternative to this would be taking the boat. And we don't want to take the boat, though. But, I mean, if he is just going to murder us... Okay, if he's just going to murder us, we're going to have to... Okay, running. Where is he? He must wander. That's interesting. He probably wanders around the island. He probably has a path. So... just have the macro ready. And then we're here. Let's make sure that nobody's going to try and murder us. All right, so we're in Butcher Block now. It's dark out, so we're not going to be able to see so well. But we do have a lantern. They give us a lantern for free. Technically, the Glooming Deep Lantern. This was something that was implemented in Dragons when they, I think, when they implemented the starter zone, the newbie zone. There's a newbie zone, kind of a training area that you can do, and it's actually a lot of fun. But the problem is it kind of gives a misconception of what EverQuest is really like, because you do tasks in the newbie zone. It might have been Omens of War, but I think it was Dragons. It kind of gives you a false sense of how EverQuest really is, to the point that you get out of the newbie zone and you're just like, wait a minute, like where are my tasks at? Well, there is no tasks. Not really. I mean, the only tasks you do is in Crescent Reach, but if you get started off in like your hometown, like in Freeport or Kelethan or something, they don't have tasks there. Tasks was kind of like their implementation of trying to do a quest. So you would take on a task and it would go into like your tasks window, which I don't know. No, I don't know how to open the task windows right now. So, but it would basically give you kind of a sitting task that you would do, just like a quest. And then once you fulfilled it, you get the reward from it, if it had a reward. But I don't think all of them had rewards. So like you would get this task done. You'd be like, okay, the task is done. And like there'd be nothing from it. You're like, okay, why did I do that? I thought it would be like an interesting concept if Final Fantasy XIV tried to do this, and I don't know how successful it really was. But like, if I were to play the game of, you know, if I were to who are you? If I were to try and design an MMO, you know, there is the logic behind what people get out of games. There's like four different camps of people, of what people derive out of playing a video game. You know, some people get off on, you know, the overall exploration. Some people get their enjoyment off of, you know, the overall achievement of doing something, or basically checking off something on their list of achievements. Some people have the thrill of just murder hoboing, you know, killing other players, or even just killing monsters in general. And some people just have the thrill of just exploration. Guild Wars 2 actually did a really good job on the exploration piece, to where there was a lot of reward. WildStar kind of did this too. WildStar tried to develop into tapping into those different kind of tropes. Those were the four primary tropes. Was, you know, you have the explorer, you have the achiever, you have the murderer, we'll just say, and I think I only went through 3 tropes, right? I get off watching Rein. I don't know if that's true. So Explorer, Achiever, Murderer, and then there was like one that was like the Communicator. It was somebody who was really about the community in an MMO world, or even in a gaming environment. But basically, it's just tapping into those tropes of, this is my guy. Give me the letter. It's tapping into those style of gameplays, and WildStar really made it like it was clear cut, plain as day. You chose one of those tropes. You chose whether you were an explorer or whether you were, just somebody who got off on killing things. You got to choose if you were the scientist who was interested in the lore. You got to choose one of your tropes, and it kind of made it interesting to where somebody was able to choose. This is what I get out of games, and now this game is helping me get what I get out of games. And I don't know if it was executed poorly. I mean, I played WildStar for a little bit. I was actually anticipating its release back when it was in beta, and it had a really poor release, and it was basically just a WoW clone. But I mean, it was a fun game. But that extra little piece was kind of like a good idea. And every MMO tends to have kind of that little piece of, hey, this was a good idea. And, like Warhammer Online, for example, Age of Reckoning. Great game. Fantastic. Loved the game to pieces. Had no end game, but that's beside the point. But was a really fun game. And one of the things that World of Warcraft derived off of what Age of Reckoning did is that, there was only one rank of every ability. Back when World of Warcraft was around, you had multiple ranks for multiple abilities, and it made for this big rigmarole of, okay, well, I have to buy this rank, and in vanilla you would actually use the lower level ranks because they were more mana efficient. But Age of Reckoning, you didn't have that. In Age of Reckoning, you were basically, once you got the ability, that was it. You have the ability. It's based off of a percentage of your stats or your level or whatever, and that's its effectiveness. And World of Warcraft took that. They did something similar later on in one of their expansions where they kind of, crunched all of the abilities together to where there was no multiple ranks anymore. It was just, you got your regrowth spell, you got your healing touch spell, that was it. You didn't get any further ranks of it. There was no having to spend lots and lots of money on further ranks of it. So it was kind of nice. So anyway, back to the whole idea of designing a game, right? So the whole design behind the game would really focus on community, of course, because I mean, if you're making an MMO, a lot of people who did the MMOs, like a lot of people who were involved with EverQuest, your Brad McQuaid's, they were all about passion projects. They were all about just designing a game because they had, that's a Dwarf Bandit, and he's level 3. It was all about a passion project of an idea that they wanted to design a game behind this idea, right? It was not really about, what can make us money, like kind of what publishers think. So I quit Aerodune and moved to Rizlona. Oh, Jones, why did you do that? Just because of the queue times? Were the queue times that bad? I would find it odd why you would move to Rizlona. Oh shit, don't aggro on me. That's a green blood, he's level 9. Gotta be careful of him. I'm interested to hear this story, Jones. I personally I wouldn't play Rizlona. That's my own personal preference though. Just because that's where all the boxes are gonna be. But I mean, if the queue times are better, I guess you're kind of left without a point. You just can't log in and play an Aerodune. Yeah. I mean, Aerodune, the writing's on the wall for Aerodune that, I mean, Darkpaw kind of found the formula, the rules that this server is doing is the right rules because you got so many people trying to play it. But at the same time, there's just too much demand and not enough supply. And I would personally play on Aerodune. I have my ult on Aerodune right now, and I'm just kind of messing around. But I'm not playing on Aerodune because I can't log in. All right, we got an orc runner coming. I gotta just dodge him out of the way. This will be all for naught also if I die, just so you know. We're doing good so far, though. We're almost to the zone line. But yeah, they pretty much said they ain't gonna do shit. I mean, that's amazing that they found a good formula for having people come back to EverQuest and play. And all they really need to do, Jones, is just have another server. That's all they need is another Eridune server. I don't know why they just won't do that. You know, if it's that popular, you got that many people wanting to play it. You know, I guess they don't want it to where they implement the this new server and then, you know, you have a breach between Eridune and this other new server, or that they're just worried that there's just going to be an issue where nobody's going to want to play on the other Eridune 2 server, we'll call it. And everybody's going to want to play on Eridune itself, or everybody tries to migrate off of Eridune to Eridune 2. Who knows? But you definitely can't just pull people out of Eridune and put them on Eridune 2, because that's not going to work. Yeah, increasing the population a little at a time, but if they haven't fixed the issues with the lag on the servers, especially when you're zoning, it's not going to make a difference. You know, all you're doing is you're just waiting out for people to actually not play anymore. Which, I mean, is really sad. You know? But, I mean, it's progress for Darkpaw. They found the right formula for a server, but I mean, honestly, the next iteration of what they would do after this would be, you know, this is a non-box server. You play one character, but there's no, I don't even know how they enforce just the 2-box, you know, system. But, you know, it's right now, you know, with Eridune, I think it's a really good idea, and apparently the statistics show that it's a very good idea. But why just limit it to the one server at this point? I mean, you're kind of, you know, shitting on your fan base where, you know, they're pretty excited about something that you did, and yet at the same time you're pissing them off because they're not able to play or log in. You know, because most people, you know, I work a 9-to-5 job, an 8-to-5 job, you know, and I come home and it's like, you know, I want to play EverQuest. But the time that I want to log into EverQuest, I can't, because everybody's logging in at the same time. So it's ridiculous. You know, you have to have basically a schedule, much like in Europe or like even in Asia, to where you're logging in at 2 a.m. as your peak time, and you're able to get in. So no one plays this game anymore. That's not true, actually. A lot of people actually still play EverQuest. Last session, we were actually talking about what it is about EverQuest that really turns me on about it. And I was watching one of the former EQ devs was interviewing Bill Fisher, and he's one of the former devs for EverQuest. And one of the things that he said as a developer, which kind of resonated with me, was he mentioned that the mechanic of feigned death was not intended for pool mechanics, and yet the players used it as a mechanic for pool mechanics. And that was kind of like what resonated for me from what it is that EverQuest means to me, is that EverQuest is designed with the devs that have ideas for utility spells and abilities that the players take in a whole new direction, that the players are trying to gain an advantage over the world, to the point that they have the upper hand. They're able to live an easier life. And it's just interesting, you know, that we have this box of tools to work with, you know, with each character having their own abilities and such, that we can do things like that without, you know, the devs saying, oh, well, we don't want people to do that, so we're going to do this instead. You know, and EverQuest in a few moments kind of fought against the players. Like in Kunark, you know, there were certain mobs that got higher level, and it was very relevant in Velios. But in Kunark, you know, you got a few mobs in there that, you know, at a certain level, it's usually beyond level 55. This happened in Velios too. But, you know, if you do any damage to them, you get them below 98%, they start summoning you. that's kind of cheesy. I mean, like, having a mob summon you just basically ruins the mechanic behind being able to kite. And kiting is like one of the breach mechanics of us being able to kind of take advantage of the game. And if you start fighting against us in putting in mechanics that doesn't allow us to fight against your game, then I start to lose interest. I start to not enjoy the game as much, because now it's basically, I gotta find a new way to kill these boss mobs, or I need to find a new way to level up in experience, or I need to find a new way to take advantage of the game. Come Plains of Power, though, because, I mean, Lucklin, you even had summoning mobs that was horrendous in Straw Temple. But when Plains of Power came out, they kind of relaxed on the whole summoning mob bit. I mean, they were pretty much confident or comfortable with people, you know, kiting and, you know, using the mechanics to the benefit of the player rather than to the benefit of the game, which, you know, is kind of the right direction. But by that point, the damage is pretty much done. You know, Plains of Power, Eldons, all that stuff, the kind of magic behind EverQuest was slowly fading. Mostly because of the loss of community. You pretty much didn't need community as much anymore. And I was not a huge fan of Plains of Power, mostly because it's all raid driven. You know, if you wanted to be just a standard player and not actually raid, you can't. Most of the zones that you wanted to do in Plains of Power required you to do all kinds of unlock quests, which by yourself you can't do. So it was very raid driven. So if you ever play in Plains of Power, if you ever decide, you know, I'm going to play EverQuest and I'm going to start in Plains of Power, be prepared to raid. That's going to be an eventuality if you're going to want to ever get anything done. But Plains of Time, which is one of the end dungeons of that era, has some of the best loot that you'll see for a while. So because I thought VT loot was good, but Plains of Power loot is insane as far as within Plains of Time. But we're going to be entering on Mangler. We're going to be entering GOD era, which is going to be kind of a power boost for a lot of the pet casters and the necromancers and druids, as far as with their dots, because they're going to give them kind of a crit mechanic for their dots. So things are going to become a little bit easier. And we run our small little raiding guild that is a bunch of boxers that do kind of lower end content, but we still have a lot of fun doing it. And, you know, we did Vox and Nagy in Lucklin era with only like 12 people. And it was fun, and it was exciting that we were able to manage something like that with such a low amount of people. We have many more people now. We're up to like 24 or 25. And that's characters, not actual players. So, player-wise, I think we're only up to like maybe 14. You know, we've got a lot of characters and not a whole lot of players, and that's how we distribute loot, is based off of player, not based off of, you know, character. So it's kind of interesting. So now we've got the 4 letters, and we're entering the Bard's Guild now. Our money total is sitting at 0. We have to give this to Idia, so we're going to go ahead and give that to her. So she's going to give us 14.5 and 9 gold. 9 gold, that's a heavy chunk of gold. And then we're going to give all the other letters to Jackham here. We're going to just give them all to him. And that puts us at, okay, 57%. So we've gained 2 platinum and half a level doing this once. So all we have to do is just do this quest twice, and we're done. We've hit level 2, and we've hit gold. Because, of course, if you're a mage at level 2, you get your pet. Once you get your pet, you can basically raffle stomp and level up all the way to, geez, I don't know. I'm still leveling up my mage solo at level 23, and it doesn't seem to be stopping. So, but I'm going to have to go check out the island at this point to see if that pirate is actually spawned. Because I think he killed me one time when I first translocated over there. On my mage, and she's a dark elf, she's evil, so anything pretty much can kill me there. So I don't want to run all the way back to Freeport, so I'm just going to take the easy route. I'm just going to die. But two and a half platinum right off the bat. So that's a ton of money. So we can do the muffin quest if we really wanted to, which we are going to do. I'm going to check and see how much experience the muffin quest is actually going to net us. I've been trying to find a red wine replacement quest, and in Uridan Land, thanks for the rip. In Uridan Land, they had a couple quests. You can go to Kinos and do the Brandy quest, which was horrible. It's just a faction quest, really. Or you could do, I think it was, there was a strange logger quest you can do for one of the captured gnomes that was there. And it's really good experience, but the loggers you have to buy for it are like, ugh. I want to say they were around 6 gold a piece, and that's insane. That's a lot of gold. All right, so we got to go to West Freeport. Fadark's Champions faction. Okay. He just wants one muffin. Okay, so we need to find muffins. And the muffins are 7 copper, so this is going to be really easy. This is a good quest if you ever need to make Wood Elf faction. The only thing is, though, is that the faction required, there is no faction requirement for this, but if you don't have any type of invis, or if he's KOS to you, you're going to have a very, very, very hard time trying to do this quest. But we are looking for, let's say, Gurren Tassel. Let's do it by description. Gurren Tassel. General supplies. Okay. Hope we did not choose the farthest person around. But I was mentioning earlier, this Muffins quest is pretty much the quest that you do if you end up killing Tunair in the Plane of Nature or the Plane of Growth. And you need to get your Wood Elf faction back because you happen to be a Wood Elf. And whenever you origin, you get murdered by your fellow kin. You would do the Muffin quest. And this Muffin quest would essentially restore your faction with the Wood Elves and with the High Elves, actually. So I would foresee myself doing this on, like, say, a Dark Elf. Even if you're a Dark Elf of Innerrook, you're pretty much limited to the amount of faction you can have with a good race. It's kind of like that with evil races and good races. So if you happen to be a worshiper of Tunari, for example, you could only get up to, like, probably dubious with the Dark Elves. So if I wanted to raid an Aerodune, I had to queue in at like 1 p.m. PST to get in. Also, I crashed and actually missed half my raid. That sucks, dude. Like, especially since when you crash and you can't get back in, I'm gonna buy 10 of these, and you can't get back in, you're pretty much stuck with having to wait in queue again. There's no, like, grace period, which is horrible. And, like, honestly, I almost think that they make the game crash on purpose just to keep the queues down so that people have to re-queue and all this. Yeah, it's bad. It's so bad. Yeah, I was actually spending a lot of time on Aerodune as an alt thing and doing some research with mages and stuff. And at a certain point, it was just like, I'm going to play Aerodune. Huh, there's a 254-minute wait. I guess I'm not playing Aerodune anymore. So I think there is a very big lost opportunity right now that Darkpaw is just kind of like, well, there's not much we can do about it. So, Hog Collars Inn in West Freeport. I do not see any guy. Do we have innkeepers? There's like no innkeepers. West Freeport, right? So you find Control F Trisser White Whistle Song to help locate, but she's not anywhere around. Where the fuck is she? She's a taskmaster. She's probably not even... She probably doesn't even exist. I passed them? Did I? Were they over here? It'd be funny if they were here. Oh, and look at the descriptions. Does it actually say Innkeeper as a description? Oh, here it is. Innkeeper. Okay.
Stop being such a dingus!
Yeah, they're just fine. I don't know which one is the proper innkeeper, though. Let me see if I can do Pondus. Use the find system target Tristle Whistle Song, but she's not in the list. I don't see her. Yeah, she's definitely not in the list. So, yeah, we're going to have to look for an innkeeper. I mean, it's a dwarf. Yeah, everything just says you do a find for Tristle Whistle Song. It's like, well, she doesn't exist right now. East of the West Gate, slightly north. It's probably on the map. You know what? I could probably just do this. Yes, Pando's Flintside. I'm dumb. He's actually near Lady Shay. Where am I at? I'm to the south. Okay, so she's over here. Did you hear Scotty left? Yes. I know that Scotty left, and it's very painful for me because now I have to do his work. So we're not going to talk about that on stream because it's very frustrating. Here's the hog collars in. There's Lady Shay. Oh, she is on here, but she's not a taskmaster right now, I guess. I don't know. And there's our buddy. So I want to give him one muffin. This is a faction. He's apprehensive. So I'm going to give him one muffin, and that is going to net us 0.1 experience. Okay. These are 7 copper apiece mind you. So technically, 1% experience would be 70 copper, which is 7 silver. We've made 2 platinum right now. So let's load up on some muffins. Actually, it's not load muffins. I actually want to do some actual quests. At level 1, though, 0.1. Let's go ahead and give him the rest of these muffins. Here, you can have the rest of these muffins. Here you go, buddy. Just give me a full % of experience. So that's only at level 1, though. So at level 2, it's probably going to be 1/10 of that. So then you need actually more muffins. But if I pull out a calculator, so you would need 1,000 muffins, which would be 7,000 copper, 700 silver, 70 gold, or 7 platinum. So with 7 platinum, if you could earn 7 platinum really quick, you could get level 2 really easy. So we have 2.5 platinum. So if we wanted to get, let's say, 42% experience, 42% experience, we would need to buy 420 muffins, right? Because it's 0.1 per. So we times that by 10, or times that by 100. And then that would be... we got times that by 7. So that would be way too much. No. 420, right? So divided by 10. 294 silver. 29 gold. So you need 3 platinum. You would need 3 platinum to get to level 2 with the Muffin Quest after you've done the quest to actually do the mail carrying. That's not bad. That's actually a pretty good fast level. If you could get enough, you could almost buy your way with the Muffin Quest. But the Muffin Quest, not bad at level 1, since it's 7 copper. 7 copper, which if you bought 10, would be 7 silver. 7 silver nets you 1%. So, let me see. So if 7 silver nets you 1%, and we need 42, 7 silver, yeah, 2.94 platinum, which we are like we're 4 gold off of actually just being able to turn in all of the mail and then just do muffins afterwards, because all you would be doing is just traveling and picking up mail pouches and turning them in. Now, nothing really prevents us from doing it again, but I don't want to just do the mail quest again. But that would be the thing that you would do with a human mage or with any character that you could bring to Freeport to grab the mail from here. So you could technically take a wood elf, you could take a high elf, you could take a mage, you could take a gnome, and you could pretty much just run the entire gauntlet of starting in Freeport, going to the coast, going to Butcher Block, grabbing the quest there, going to Kaladin, grabbing the quest there, going to Felwith, grabbing the quest there, and then just turning them in for a cool half a level and 2.5 platinum, and then just rinse repeating it. Bind yourself here, and then just go and do the quest again and again and again. And you could do it. You can do it even in level. If you hit level 2, you could still do it, and it's going to net you for 4 turn-ins. It's going to net you 20% experience. So, and still 2.5 platinum. So, that's not bad. And all it is just traveling. So, Wolfie, there was no way of you knowing. But he was on my team, and I pretty much relied on him for a lot of stuff. And then now he's not there, and I'm pretty much the senior member on my team, and it's very difficult right now for us. So, all right. So, Muffin Quest is done. We can check that off our list. Alrighty. Red wine for Lady Shay. She was just near us, actually. We'll go ahead and turn that in real quick. I'm sure the innkeeper here has a bartender or something. Yes, absolutely they do. So I think this one actually requires 4 red wines. 4 red wines. And since we have money to work with, because we did the mail quest, we can actually do some of these quests that require us to buy something. So she wants 4 red wines. 6% experience for 4 red wines. That's not bad. That's not bad. 6% experience for 4 red wines. That's a little bit more. I mean, they're 6 silver a piece, though. So, but you would rather do this quest than the muffin quest, because the muffins, it's what, 7 silver for 1% experience, where this is only 6.5 silver for a little over 1.5%, because it was 6 for 4. So it's like 1.5, it's like 1.5. So that's not bad, right? So the red wine quest here for a level 1 is, you could technically do the mail quest and then come here and just turn in a bunch of wine to Lady Shay to get to level 2. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. That will get cut to a 5th, I think, when you level up, though. So you're not going to get as much experience. But you could technically take the money that you get for doing the mail quest and turn into Lady Shay to help get to level 3 a little bit faster. But I mean, we can come in and take a look and see what it looks like at level 2 if we do the red wine quest. But not bad. She has a white wine quest too, I believe. I'm going to take a look at that real quick. She's a drunkard, I guess. All right, so red wine, that's done, that's done. There's a bunch of brewer's quests and stuff here. I'm not too worried about that. The hopeless... Oh, buddy. Oh, buddy. Oh, buddy, Mr. Gamey. He's ending his night tonight, and he's bringing the raid along with him. What's going on, everybody? I hope you enjoyed your beautiful time with Gamey. How you doing, man? You must be tired. How was stream? We're just doing some quest research right now, and we're actually... Freeport's not bad. I have to say, Freeport has a lot to offer, so... for those of you who are not familiar, we are playing EverQuest right now. This game is probably well over 21 years old, and it's by far one of my favorite MMOs out there, and I am doing research on basically leveling a character to level 2, and what quests there are to offer to help us get there in a relatively timely manner, especially with if you're starting to play on a new TLP or a time lock progression server and there's no content. It's nice to have kind of a quick way to level up or to get money or to get started kind of quickly. So that's kind of what I'm researching right now. Yeah, so right now I'm looking at some quests in Freeport and I'm going to get back into it. This quest requires us to go to East Corona, and we are not going to East Corona. That is a hell of a run for a level 1 character. It does net a backpack, though. A blackened iron coif, which is actually magical. It's caster usable, too, with 5 strength. That's kind of interesting. A cloth shawl, which is shoulders, head, gold ring, cloak with 5 hit points. A crappy spear and a crappy 2-handed mace. I don't know where she's at, though. You could probably do this quest later, just for the items, which is what most of these quests are for. Nope. Besides the road on the high pass, yes. So she's not too far in, but the trek from here to East Corona right now is impossible. What's up with me? Nothing. I'm just sitting here playing EverQuest. What's up with you? How you doing? How you doing? I've been doing a lot of EverQuest research. I'm trying to hopefully build kind of a guide for people who want to start out on a TLP. With your motivation, I also posted my speedrun for world record of Cleric, which did get posted. 7.5 hour stream later, ready to sleep. Yeah, I'm sure you're tired, man. That's a long day. Congratulations on a long stream, though. It's like an 8 hour. It's like a whole nother. It's a whole nother job. There is 8 hours of work. It's kind of funny. But you did it. You did it. You made it. You're here finally, and you're not having to do work anymore. You can finally go to bed. All right, so we're not doing that one, but that would be something that you could look into. I don't know if the blackened iron coif actually drops. There's some weird things in these quests that I don't know if they're just super rare or if it was a bug, but people reported it and now it just shows up in the listing. Oh, buddy. Gamey, you rating me twice? How does that work? What's going on, Taylor? How you doing, buddy? I hope you enjoyed your night with Gamey there. Oh, we're just getting to ambient music at this point. Okay, good. You rated me twice according to my thing here, so yeah, double time on the raid. So I mean, I'll take it. Let's see. Yeah, there's a lot of quests in Freeport that we can't do because they're all... That's a task. We don't want tasks. They're all trade skill related. Paladin message. This one looks like it is going to be Paladin only. So Mythmar. Yep, Knights of Truth. Indifferent. So let's check our faction real quick. We want Knights of Truth. There's a lot of faction in base game. So Knights of Truth. Indifferent. So we could technically do this. Retrieving a message. Travel to the Common Lands to find the courier. Okay. I don't know if we want to travel to the Common Lands, though, because there's a lot of aggro bears in there. So. You're all right-ish. I'm doing okay. I had a nap today. I got home after work. I actually went into work today. Hello. Who are you? Where are you running to? Okay, you... hello? Can I hail you? What are you doing in the city? You should be slaying beasts. Yeah, I got home from work today and I was just bushed. So for some reason, I just kind of... I fell asleep and I woke up like an hour and a half later, had dinner, and then pretty much went for my walk. So on Thursdays, I typically go into work. So I went into work today. Most of the time, though, I just find myself working remotely from home. But I'll be returning to work next week, starting Monday, and getting things prepped for my students. So it should be interesting. Okay, so he wants a bottle of milk. This nets the courage spell or a wrist pouch, which is only a 4-slot bag that's tiny. It also involves us to kill somebody, so we're not going to do that. I'm not doing any quests that involve us to kill anyone, so... Yeah, I had a great kinky conversation. Was fun. Oh, yeah? Kinky conversation, huh? Do I want to know the details, or should I just watch the VOD? Baker's Test, Exterminate Freeport, which is a pop quest. We're not doing that. Black Sash. The Sash quests are actually for monks. There's a lot of... Yeah, there's a lot of quests here, but a lot of them are just involving trade skills. Ooh, this one takes us to Ocean of Tears. What is this quest? Arcane Scientist, amiable, which we are. Speak to Nusk Trenton on the ground near the Arcane Science building. He will tell you to seek out Lenka Stoutheart in Freeport. Ask her for the journal Strongbacks. Then return to him. You can be found in the inn in West Freeport, and she will tell you she had dropped the box off a ship straight from the dock at the Isle of Ocean of Tears. The Strongbacks is found in Ocean of Tears pretty much right under the dock at the Sisters Island. That is stupid easy to get. Oh, man. We got to check this out. And I finished up with squats and touch your toes. Nice. That's awesome, dude. Got to squat down and touch your toes. Just sing a song while you were doing it. All right. The quest actually starts with a mage, but I don't know. Yeah, I think we could just head to Ocean of Tears and just grab it. I don't think we actually have to. I don't think we actually have to talk to anybody. So I don't know what the likelihood of what the strong box is going to be up if somebody else is able to do this quest, or what the spawn time of the box is going to be. Let's see if this actually has the details of any spawn times in the box. Found a lockbox and the named ogre that spawns. Nope, I don't care about that. Divin's Heart. Nope. During the day, she hangs out at Seafarer's Room. Ogre Buddy. Nope. Spears. Nope. Okay, we'll just take a look. Yeah, I don't have any incentives like that. I don't think I've really done anything with the incentives actually on stream. In channel, most of my stuff has been on the bots, which I've noticed that the bots just aren't as popular anymore. I don't know if people really care about having in-house bots running on your client. I mean, sure, but not many people play the games much anymore. I put a lot of work in designing those games, and yeah, not many. The only people that really play them nowadays is like Jocko, who comes by every so often. But I may be looking at probably dismantling some of my games or even the bots themselves, just because I have to run them on my system every time I stream. So it's a little taxing on my system resources, I guess. But every so often, I also have to reconnect them to the server, which is always a pain in the ass, especially when you take a break from streaming and you go back to stream again. You're just like, oh fuck, I gotta put my bots back up. It's like, I don't want to do that. Oh Jesus Christ, I don't want to do that. But yeah, I don't know. People just pretty much use bots nowadays. They don't really use the currency so much anymore. They use the bots to basically filter chat, and I think a lot of that stuff is just done in-house now. Oh yeah, there's this guy on this island that's going to aggro on us if he's nearby, so we might die. I guess we'll find out. They said the box is near the dock, so hopefully he's not close enough to aggro, but we will see. I'm hoping, though, I'm going to check on Aerodune if I ever can get logged into Aerodune. But I'm going to check on Aerodune to see if... Here, movement. I'm going to check on Aerodune if I can... Alright, so here's the box. Strong box. Okay. You could technically... There's a boat there, too. There's a person running over there. Yeah, I wonder where that pirate came from. Yeah, because the Sisters of Orosi, they're pretty much indifferent. They don't like dark elves, I know that. But yeah, I'm wondering how long until this... I can't see anything either. There we go. I can kind of see things. I just don't want to be underwater. There we go. Okay. I don't know when this pack is going to respawn, but I'm going to take a look and see. And if I end up dying, I'm fine with it. I'll just go back. So this almost looks like a Sea of Thieves right now. SOT vintage mode. Yeah, we're basically in the Ocean of Tears, which the Ocean of Tears was a zone. It's basically a intermediate zone that is for travel. But there's all kinds of stuff that can happen here. I mean, there's a bunch of little islands, and you've got boat paths from both Butcher Block, which is kind of the elf area, and then this is the human area. I hear movement. It's probably just the Sisters of Orosi. Yeah, I don't want to die yet. I'm just curious on what the respawn time for this box is. But technically, if we're doing the mail quest, we can stop by here and pick up the box, and then turn everything else in, and then die, and then come back, and then turn the box in. As long as it's not temporary, which it's not. It's just lore, no trade quest. So, I don't know how much this box is really worth, but since the translocator just takes us here, it's pretty fast. So, get eaten by that piranha. Yeah, last time we were in the water, we got eaten by a piranha. So, that was not fun, but that's neither here nor there at this point. But yeah, I'm gonna have to inspect this item on Aerodune, or this island on Aerodune, to see if that pirate is actually here, because I would not have a problem just sitting here and murdering him. Getting eaten by one piranha sounds excruciating. Well, yes, absolutely, because you're sitting there waiting to die as one piranha is slowly trying to chew away at your flesh. Oh, if I duck, okay, so I'm not breathing underwater when I duck. That's weird. Okay. You can see all underwater here. There's a boat here. Oh, the boat actually stops here? That's weird. I forgot that the boats, this is the previous way of travel, and they actually weren't this fast. And back in the day, the boat would basically scoot. It was really weird. But the boats have been revamped, and they move really fast, and they just fly across the zone, so... Yeah, if this strongbox takes a long time, if it takes like a half hour to spawn, it's going to be none too great, that's for sure. Piranha teeth are also ripping teeth, not cutting teeth. Ugh. Ugh. They're like incisors. It's going to be a long wait. I'm going to be left with the impression that most items you find on the ground may be about a half-hour respawn. Let me see if there's actually anything in here that says the respawn time on it. Ugh. Let's check and see what all this motion's about. I'm still curious about that. There's a lot of Sisters of Orolsi here. They're level 9? Really? The pirate. There was a pirate here that just absolutely murdered me. And I'm curious if he just wanders the island. Oh, you're level 25? You're level 25. Ooh. You're druids, though, I bet. Level 25, level 25. This would be a great place to hunt at, like, level 26. Level 25, my goodness. Yeah, you could pretty much take... if you were to play like an evil mage, you could pretty much go through all of Ocean of Tears, probably from at least 1 to 30 easily. Mostly because there's just always something to hunt. I haven't checked all the levels throughout the zone, though. I do know that on this island alone, you could start early level like... There he is. Okay, he killed us. Kind of surprised us out of nowhere. But you could pretty much... starting at like level 2 even with a mage, because mages can solo so easily. You can go into Ocean of Tears and kill the goblins there. And then after the goblins, you go kill the Aviacs, which are just bird people. And they start at like level 9 to 12. And then after that, I mean, they have another tier of Aviacs that you can kill, but they're a little bit longer to spawn. But the littler Aviacs could probably carry you to 15. You could do a combination of the little ones and the big ones. And then once you hit like 15... you could probably go to the Undead Island, because they're like 18 to 20. Probably level 16, because that's when you get a new pet, I think. Is it 16? It's 18. So level 18, you get a new pet. And then once you get done with the Undead Island, if you get to like 22, you get your new pet again. And then you could probably go to the island I was just on, because your pet will be like level 25. And you could kill level 25s easily with that. So the only thing you'd have to worry about is things adding, being social. All right, we got to get back to West Freeport. We got the strong chest still? We do. So I think we have to go to the Paladin Guild for this. We have to turn this in. And Nusk Trenton is where we need to go. I'm going to change my music choice here. We're just listening to EverQuest music while we're playing EverQuest. I'm going to make sure I turn it down just so you can barely hear it. And then shuffle. All right. So now we need to find Nusk. It's a GM wizard. Okay. Which, I mean, there's no direct path, I guess, from here, so we're going to have to go around. I understand like 2/3 of that, but I love your enthusiasm for this game world. I was talking about it earlier, but EverQuest is the type of MMO that players try to figure out how to take advantage of the game, because it had just a basic... a lot of the casters have a series of utilities and tools and abilities that are non-damaging, that help you take advantage of the game, like snaring and rooting and kiting and all that stuff. So that's kind of one of the things that I get appeal out of this game from. And on TLPs especially, you know, it's trying to get that advantage of trying to level up really quick or making money really quick. Which is kind of cool. There's Trest, okay. Or Nusk, Trenton, Trayton? Did it say Trenton on here? Nope, it says Treaton, okay. So we just hand him the box, that's it. 64% experience goes to 78. So that was 14 expense. We give us a flask of water, really. And a gold piece. Gold, silver, 6 copper. So 14 experience, 14% experience for that. That's actually really good. Yeah, I understand looking for the loopholes can be a lot of fun. Also, the mauve robes are a look. I got the look right now. All right, so you could actually pick that up on the way while you're doing the mail quest. So that's not bad. That's actually on the way. So let's take a look at another quest here. Let's go back to Shay real quick. She has a white wine quest too. I'm curious on how much that's worth. Lady Shay just wants us to buy her a bunch of wine. I'm gonna go ahead and spin around here real quick. I think Lady Shay is in here, right? She's in the hog collars. There she is. Let's see. The white wine quest. I think you only need 1 white wine. Let's see how much the white wine is worth. It's the same as red wine. You only need 1 of them, though. So 78. It's 0.1 experience for the white wine versus 4 red wines gives us like 6%. So yeah. The red wine, the red wine is definitely better. I'm wondering how fast you could level up if you just did the red wine. Be interesting. But still good faction. It does give you Emerald Warriors, Kelethan Merchants, and Merchants of Felwith. So it gives you essentially all of the other faction versus like the Muffin Quest. So you could do the Muffin Quest with this quest to get a bunch of faction with the High Elves and the Wood Elves. So that wouldn't be too bad. And then that takes us to level 2 quests, which is beyond our control. So West Freeport we're pretty much done with. So now we need to look at East Freeport. East Freeport should have a series of its own quests. Hopefully. Quest starting, 104. That's actually a lot. This is a evil quest. I don't think we can do this one. Yeah, some of these quests, I think East Freeport is going to be mostly evil quests that we're not going to be able to do. Because this requires Dismal Rage, and I am more than sure that we do not have Dismal Rage faction. We will just take a quick look. Dismal Rage, Indifferent. Okay, maybe not. We will lose Knights of Truth faction. We will gain Opal and Dismal Rage faction. This requires us to kill something though, which we're not going to do. So 4 fire beetle eyes, which will what? Oh, gives us an offhand +2 mana item. It's interesting. So at least you have a place to turn in. You need to turn in 4 fire beetle eyes, which will give you experience, and 4 spiderling silks, which you will never turn in because on TLPs you'll just sell the spiderling silk to players. It's worth more money. But it still gives you experience though. But no, we will not do that quest. Ouch. Okay. Let's check this leveling here. Going Postal, which you've already done. Cure Disease, which never warrants any experience. Lenka's Pouch. Oh, okay. This is the one where... Okay, so we have to go to the docks real quick. Easiest way to go to the docks. Let's go ahead and die real quick. We'll just pop in East Freeport. This one requires you just to pick up an item off of a boat, which I tried to do this on my Dark Elf, and it didn't work out so well because she was evil. Some lady wants wine. That checks out. Yeah, pretty much. But I tried to do this quest particularly on my Dark Elf, and I think the faction was a little skewed because I pretty much have dubious faction. I can walk around in Freeport, but like nobody likes me. But if you start going into the alcoves and into the taverns and stuff like that, you're going to run into a lot of people that really don't like you that want to murder your face. So something you definitely have to look out for, that's for sure. But in one of these boats, we're going to pick up an item really fast. I think it's this one. There is no item here. So, is it another boat? It's one of these boats. This one has a bunch of boats. There's no item here. No item here. They got like these little doors on them. Like little, like what is this? Is this like a halfling's version of the, okay. Are those like little bathrooms inside of the boats? I don't know. The world may never know. There it is. Another item on the ground. I have to jump in the boat to pick it up. This is a pouch. Okay. This has to be traded into Lenka Stoutheart. Lenka. I think she's just down the way here. Yeah, she's just down the way. Her and her buddies actually killed my mage last time, so, but we're human now, so we don't have to worry about it so much. It's another one of those quests you could pull off on the way. What did you do in those taverns? I don't know. Like, they just don't like dark elves, I guess. Swift Fingers. A lot of people just hanging out. Where's Lenka, though? Is there no Lenka here? Does she show up later? Who's Scar? Hello? Nope. Yeah, I don't see a Lenka here, though. Is there an upstairs? Does she have a specific spawn time? She is definitely not here, though. She would be, like, right here. Well, that's specious of them. Well, yeah. They don't like my blue skin. Let's see. With a revamped LS pouch is a ground spawn and a boat, central dock. Taste this luncheon, you'll receive either a snapped fishing pole or Mogok's right eye. Okay. Let's check and look up Lenka Stoutheart real quick. Yeah, she's definitely supposed to be here. This mob spawns in the northwest. Okay, so she doesn't actually start here? Okay, so she's technically somewhere else? She walks here? So that means that she would be, like, up here somewhere. Like, if I wait long enough, will she show up? What's the thing on what's the Xena thing on screen? What is Xena thing on screen? I'm not sure what you're talking about. Like here? Where? Here? No. I don't see a Xena thing on screen. Oh, you mean above my face? Like up here? So that's basically Bit Boss. She was the last to donate to the channel, so it made her the Bit Boss. And whenever somebody follows, subscribes, donates, does damage to the Bit Boss until it goes down to 0, and then whoever the last person was to do damage, essentially becomes the new Bit Boss, and then that whole cycle repeats all over again. So I don't know where she's at. This Lenka, she must be a part of Steel Warriors, maybe? Or not Steel Warriors, but whatever the Warrior Guild is here, if there is one. Let me see. Yeah, Warrior Guild Master. I'm going to go and check out the Warrior Guild, because I'm suspecting that that's where she's at. Which is to, of course, the northwest. Let's see. What's the easiest way to get in here? I don't see any... Oh, is this an entrance? Oh, I played with y'all last year. Oh, yeah? Yeah, she's actually on this server right now, actually. She came to join us on Mangler. She was having... she was having withdrawals, I guess, from playing EverQuest, so we asked her to come join us here on Mangler, and we started raiding again. So, well, we started doing our own raiding, I guess you could say, because we're not a part of a big raiding guild or nothing, which is fine by me because I don't want to do big raiding anymore. Bard formerly known as Bitsy. What's up, Bitsy? I remember you. You were one of them pro pals. Bitsy the Bard, not Bitsy the Mage. Actually, I think Bitsy was one of the first... you were one of the first to actually go over to Relentless Insomnia, if I remember correctly. What's going on, Ghoulie? How you doing, buddy? We're just doing our EverQuest research here, as always. There's a peasant woman here, just kind of hanging out in the water. Oh, you can swim in here? I don't want to swim in here. You have a paladin now. Ooh, nice. Are you playing on Aerodune? Oh, hey, there's I hear all kinds of roaring and yelling. I don't actually want to go into the arena, though. Retired on Mangler, too. Yeah. You retired on Mangler, or you retired from Mangler? But yeah, we've been basically making home here for a while. I don't see her here. Probably be easier if I just waited in the bar. Or you're playing PoE now, so you literally retired just from EverQuest in general. Nothing wrong with that. Oh, there's an elevator here. Does this actually go anywhere? Is there a lever here? A button? There's a whole lot of nothing here. That's what there's here. Yeah, Bitsy was on Kornov. Yeah, I remember. Yeah, I played primarily just Krogoth and my Bard. Or, no, I had Krogoth and then I had Krieger, my Cleric. But I hate Clerics. I hate playing Clerics, at least. I don't hate Clerics, I just hate playing them. I will probably never play a Cleric ever again. If I do play a Cleric ever again, I will probably take them to like level 50, get them their Cleric Epic, and then not play a Cleric anymore. Just play them just to get the Epic, just to res myself, and just put them on a whole separate account and just not worry about them. This place is weird. If I want to buy 2 tables for a total of $1,800, I'd have to pay $1,400 in shipping. Holy shit. That's some heavy tables, man. It's pretty crazy. That's shipping for you, though, man. Yeah, they ship out of the US. I really don't want to search for this NPC. I could probably pull my druid out and then just... There's horses in here. Really big horses in here, Jesus. It's a weird place to have a horse stable, though. Yeah, I could probably just wait in the bar, maybe? Maybe she has a specific interval of time and when she shows up? I don't know. Oh, there's actually it says to Devastation here. That's probably in a different expansion. Maybe she's in here. Poison supplies. Oh, jeez. Okay. I guess he doesn't... None of these guys like me. You just have a bunch of poison supplies just hanging out here doing nothing, so... Alright, see you later, Taylor. Have a good night, buddy. If y'all want my Mangler stuff, say the word. What kind of Mangler stuff do you have? Did you play... You didn't play a Bard on Mangler, though. You played a Paladin, right? You had entered a PvP area. It tells you that you enter a PvP area, but it doesn't tell you that you exited a PvP area. It's kind of interesting. So you have definitely entered a PvP area. Hope you're gonna die. We actually had a few PvP areas, including the arena out in Lake of Wrath tier. I remember seeing actually a couple people. I remember when I was playing my druid way back in the day. That people would actually pass me at the zone line into the arena for some reason. I don't know why they were going to the arena. But I guess they just felt it necessary to go let off some steam and kill other players, I guess. I don't know. because death in EverQuest back then had a lot more ramifications than it does now. I mean, back then it was basically the balance of life and death, as far as with losing all of your items and basically quitting the game, and losing all that time that you invested in those characters. Whereas now it's like, oh, I died. Okay. Oh, you got Kunark tier raid loot. Was guild co-lead. That's pretty cool. Yeah, that level of gear, though, is just not worth it right now. It would be a waste of your time and my time both. Did you guys happen to do the Vishon's Peak, though? Did you guys do VP? She's new. I wonder if these characters actually spawn in here. What level are these guys? Level 10, level 18, level 16, 15. There's a guard in here, though. He's level 50, so yeah, there's no hunting in here. That guard ruins it. Asshole. Getting close to tea time. It's 10 o'clock. We're going to take a hot minute here and we're going to rest. I'm going to go grab some tea real quick. As we're sitting here and waiting for this person to show up. Just full track BP versus leg, etc. Nice. Yeah, a lot of that gear was pretty much made obsolete with Eldons because you can just buy the gear with points now. So I wouldn't sweat it as far as with giving out gear or nothing. What? I'm going to sit here and wait. I'm going to see if she'll spawn, I guess. Because she's supposed to be down here, but she's not. So I'll make tea real quick, and if she isn't back, then we're gonna have to just wait on that quest, I think. Where's my quest research at? The last time I came in here, she was in here, but I don't know why she's not in here now. I know she aggroed the shit out of me, though. Oh, she's a Shaman of Justice. Okay, so she's on Hallis faction. She's not on like any special. Well, she has Steel Warriors faction too. I guess she's a part of the Steel Warriors. But she's on Hallis faction. So if you're KOS to Hallis, then bad things can happen. Yeah, it's kind of interesting. Yeah, I don't know if she's going to spawn here or not. So, but I'll be right back. I'm gonna go do my tea real quick, and then we'll be back at it, looking at some other quests. So, one moment. That is one thing I just remembered as I was sitting up there pouring my tea. Um, especially if you're on a new TLP server. Did she spawn yet? She's not here. All right, well, I'm not going to worry about it. If you do happen to find a turn-in quest, like the Dismal Rage has a turn-in quest for Fire Beetle Eyes. Fire Beetle Eyes are relatively expensive, so I think they're like silvers, so that would be kind of hard to do a repeatable if you had to pay like 6 silver a piece for Fire Beetle Eye. But one quest in particular that's in Neriac is it's a quest for the Rogues Guild that requires you to buy or to get spider fang or snake fangs and snake skins. And newbie characters, especially in Neriac Forest, there's going to be a ton of Dark Elves. And some people just don't know the value of an item, so they'll just go and just collect the item and just sell it to a vendor. And you'll find that the vendor has like over hundreds of these items that are like coppers. And you can just go and buy a bunch of these items. You can get, it's the turn-in is for 3 fangs and 3 skins. And you get a little bit of experience. It's better than the Red 1 quest, monetarily wise. And you can level up really quick that way. And it's all because if somebody doesn't know the value of what an item turn-in is going to be like. So, because a lot of people don't know or realize that a lot of these quest items for turn-ins, you know, can net you some experience, especially at early levels. All right, so Link and Stout, you're out. So now red wine or the white wine quest is out. Deathfish / belt. This one only requires 2 belts. I think the other one was only 1 belt or 4 belts, 1 or 2. We're not going to be killing any Death Fist orcs anytime soon, but one of the more popular quests was actually turning in the Death Fist belts from the orcs that you hunted out in the world. Mostly in the common lands. I remember actually farming these just for faction. It's a terrible way to get faction, by the way. But the experience used to be really good. It was a good way to kind of get up through the levels to level 10. But you can do them at level 1. It's kind of nice. Hapless Love Part 2. Oh, buddy. Omega coming in hot with, you're more than 9 months, aren't you? Subscribing for that 9 months. Thanks, Omega. Thanks, buddy. How you doing today? Wah, wah. It's good, man. Good to hear that you're doing good. I'm just trying to keep my chin up for most of this. We're just doing our quest research right now and making a lot of progress. And Freeport actually has a lot of, well, not Freeport in particular, but Freeport is kind of an interesting starting point that's helping me devise a lot of interesting tactics as far as with, you know, getting a character quickly to level 2. That can apply to pretty much dwarves, gnomes, elves, wood elves, and humans, as long as they're good. Note for Janum. Okay, this is a Prophecy of Roe quest. Oh, if it is unlocked, you can find him because he's a taskmaster. This quest in particular just requires us just to move a message around. Oh, we gotta get a dwarven ale too. Yeah, Mega, you gotta go say hi to Gamey on his stream. He's got a schedule now. Also, Gamey, have a good night, buddy. This one requires a little running around within town, though. This guy requires us to give him a dwarven ale, which might net experience. They might have disabled it, but... See you later, Gamey. Bure Tenla. Alright, let's find out where this guy's at. Not that way, though. He's the Rogue Guildmaster. Was he anywhere near a bar, or... I'm gonna pick up some Dwarven Ale just in case. Where do we get Dwarven Ale? Spice Road. Does maybe different bartenders have it? There we go. So this one's a gold. Yeah, I don't want to buy 100. We'll buy 5. Okay. Just so we're not wasting all of our money. Mage Epic Junk wanted. I have my Mage Epic on my Mage. What Mage Epic Junk do you have? Do you happen to have, oh, you have the 7th Isle? Nah. I have my Mage Epic already on my Mage. And the Mage Epic you don't even use now anyway. The Epic Pet is just no good. Not in post in pop, because the pet you don't even use anymore. Which is sad, because I love the Mage Epic Pet. It is so good. If I happened to have joined Mangler on Kunark when you had that, I would have loved you forever. But since it's so far into the were you playing a mage, or were you just collecting it because you could? You were trying to sell a Mage Epic. If you wanted to, you could probably reach out to Azina about that stuff and ask her, because she might be interested in doing her Mage Epic. I don't know. I could probably flag her on Discord if she's actually playing. No, she's not actually playing right now. That's interesting. Let me see. Nope. It's Thursday night. I don't know what they're doing. Yeah, the biggest pain in the ass with the frickin' Mage Epic was the Pegasus Cloak. That was such a pain in the ass. That is quite a drop. How the heck do I get down there? Over here? You can probably drop right here and not die. Okay. You have the Pegasus Cloak? Yeah, that was probably the biggest pain in the ass about anything in the frickin' Mage Epic. Alright, this guy. We give him ale. It only gives us 0.2. That's not a whole lot. I'll give him the rest, but... Wow, not a whole lot. I was wanting to see just how much experience he would give if we gave him the ale, but it's horrible. Okay, where was Harkin at? You have to turn into him to prompt... Okay, that's weird. You turn in an item to Buer, and it actually prompts dialogue from Harkin. But I'm wondering if I could just come to him and just say message. What message? Yeah, I already have it, so... We actually didn't need to turn in that Buer. We gotta go to... West Freeport. Take a peek over here. We basically have to... It looks like we have to head back to the Mages Guild. No, she's out. She's outside of the Academy of Science. I wish there was is there an easier way to get through here? God, why did they design this way? Look at this. Like, you come out here, but you have to go all the way around just to get into this section. Oh, it's so frustrating. We're going right here. Oh, buddy. Okay, this guy wants the note. Experience 0.6, okay. And then we gotta go back to Harkin. A strange little courier quest that has only netted us about 0.6 experience. The ale doesn't actually count. This quest doesn't look like it requires any sort of faction either. And it nets you a lot of Coalition of Tree Folk, Coalition of Trade Folk, and Coalition of Trade Folk Underground faction, which I'm assuming is just the merchants. It's only good faction though, so that's interesting. So you do this enough, and you'll just get enough faction, just with stupid shit, I guess. think we just have to go straight south. God, this place is too big now. Yeah, Freeport used to be a much smaller zone, and they just decided, oh, we're going to redesign it, and then just made it just stupidly huge. I definitely do not like the redesigns of zones. High Hold Pass being like the big one that was kind of like a huge letdown. I wish on the TLPs they would just put it back the way it was. Because back in my day, we didn't have all kinds of fancy zone-looking places. Alright, so we got this item we have to give back to Harkin. Here you go, buddy. It's about, what, 4% experience? I mean, I guess it's okay. A lot of good faction, though. I mean, faction increases there. And he didn't give me an item. This is supposed to net you a minor item, but I didn't get shit. I got 1 silver coin from doing this little run. Yeah, fuck this guy. Alright. I think this is a Kunart quest. It's not even a quest. Going postal. Arena's Master Challenge. What the hell is this? This is a row quest. Don't care about that. The Frickniller family. What is this? Bodyguard for the Road Guildmaster in East Freeport. Ask him about his sister. She requires Coalition of Tradefolk Underground faction, but you can farm it by doing this quest here, so that wouldn't be too bad. Okay. So he's a bodyguard of the Rogues Guildmaster. Well, he's definitely not hanging out here. I do not see anybody by that name. Alright, so let's take a look. Gren. He is over there. He's over in the corner. He's just hanging out with some of his pals. What was he? He's level 14. That'd be funny if I just came in here with, like, my mage and just murdered him. It'd make me feel so good right now. So, who is Thalia? So then he gives us a letter. Okay. So we gotta take said letter to West Freeport. Is it a temporary item? It is not. But I'm bound here anyway, so I'm going to have to run it out regardless. And then we're going to have to return to him. Because she's going to give us a broken piece of garbage that we're going to have to give back to him, so... Yeah, so far the postmaster quests from Freeport to Kellethan is not a bad deal. going through each of the towns and picking up the mail and taking them all to Kelethin, minus Akanon, of course, nets a lot of fast experience. We're looking for Phalia. Where is she at? She's an armorer. She is all the way at the entrance. All the way around this bullshit. Son of a bitch. So that's interesting to note because now you start blending in all of these quests together. Especially for like Freeport, Kelethin, Caladim, Felwith. I mean, Felwith and Kelethin don't really have any quests, and most of the quests that are in Caladim are pretty much surrounding either a specific turn-in quest, which is going to involve turning in bone chips or turning in belts, which, I mean, you can get off of the orcs. But primarily, it's mostly going to be looking at doing the postmaster's quests, which on the TLPs, those are active. So that kind of, I don't want to say that's cheating because they're not era, but since they're on in the TLP, you could take full advantage of it. What is with these walls? Oh my god. I gotta go around this way. But making evil race kind of throws it out the window. Like, being evil does not make leveling any faster in this game. So, like, if I were to make a recommendation, I have a letter for you. Here you go. All right, so 83 experience here. We're at 0.1. Great. So that a whole lot for that turn-in. So let's go ahead and turn this back in to the other guy and see what we get. But you could technically make a high elf mage, which is going to have the same int as a dark elf mage, and you're going to be able to do all of the postmaster quests pretty much from Freeport all the way to Kelethin, and you'll also have the opportunity to do the good quests here, including doing the Lady Shay quest, which will get you fast experience for turning in the wine. I just don't know how good is the wine quest versus the wine quest that you would do in Neriak, which we can test. It's going to cost me 1,000 gold to test that theory, but I have the gold for it, so I can basically put 1,000 gold in a shared bank, go buy the wine, and see how much experience I get from doing the red wine for that for 1,000 gold. As it stands right now, though, 1,000 gold will net you level 8. It's like level 8.5 if you're doing the red wine quest with a dark elf. But now that we found the Lady Shay quest, I'm curious to see how much experience that will net us. Now, it does take 4 times the amount of red wine for it, but the amount of return for the experience is actually pretty high. I think it's necessarily higher with the 4, which gave us 6% experience, versus I think if you turn in 4 wines in Neriak, it doesn't give you 4%. I think it gives you much lower than that. So something that I'm to look into probably next year. Yes, here we go. All right, so she gave us 0.1% for experience on that one, and he's going to give us 1%. That is horrible. You are horrible, little halfling. Gives us coalition, though. Coalition trade folk, underground, and coalition trade folk. So pretty much that'll get you reputation. If you want to keep repeating that over and over with the merchants of Freeport. So, I mean, not too bad. Let's see. What is Innerrook's recommendation? This one requires to be dubious with the Priest of Innerrook. Am I dubious? Or am I KOS? Priests of Inaruk. I am actually dubious. Yeah, humans have some really weird faction. Like, humans are pretty much kind of on the level with a lot of things. That's kind of interesting. This will destroy your Clerics of Tunair faction, your Priest of Life faction, Primordial Malice faction. I don't even know what that is. This requires you to go to deliver a note to the third gate. Yeah, I'm not going there. Alrighty. Another note quest. Alright, so find Nestrel, Tagaza, East Freeport among the Bizzle Rage in the southwest corner of the zone. Okay, we just ran to Janab. I know where that's at. Okay, so we need to go to talk to Nestrel. We just need to go back to Weird. Tell Xena to text me if she wants that stuff. Alright. I will let her know. And then if she's interested in it, then she will probably take it off of your hands. I don't know if she's interested in working on a mage epic or not. I know she's leveling up a mage, though, so... so we need to talk to Nestrel. I think there was a Nestrel down here. I can't remember where he was at, though. I could probably just look him up. Is he inside something? This condemned building? No, she's just chilling behind here. I will help. Yep. Alright, so we gotta go back. Oh, Jesus. Alright, so there's 2 quests you could technically do, so let me, Raz still playing too? Yeah. If Azina's playing, Raz is typically playing with her, and typically you'll have a Visser that'll tag along too. Yeah, they're all currently playing right now. Yeah, so you could technically do this quest, and you could do the other rogue quest that was 4% experience, but I don't know if this is going to be worth a whole lot of experience, but I guess we'll find out. Go ahead and swing up through here again. These guys are going for their patrol and just strutting their stuff as they're walking through here. Yeah, you guys keep up the good work there, buddy. Alright, head to bed. Good seeing you. Good seeing you too, Bitsy. Take care, buddy. You have yourself a wonderful night and stay safe out there. So we're going to go ahead and turn this quest in. Resituate my tea so it's not... I don't have to go keep digging past my mic here. And then we've got a letter for Janum. Is it for Janum? Or is it for It's for Rebby. Hey, Rebby, I got a message for you. Here you go. Okay. Oh, he gave us Rat Whiskers back. I didn't check to see how much experience that was, but we're still at like 84%, so I'm assuming it was only like 0.1 experience. And then we've got to go back to Nestrel. Oh, Jesus. A lot of back and forth here. This looks like another one of those coalition faction quests. So you could technically do 3 of these at a time to get a lot of faction really quick with the merchants here. Let's head into the ye old Freeport. Yeah, typically if you want to have like a neutral faction with anything, you typically want to go as agnostic. It has some advantages as far as with religions. Um, some people revere certain religions as bad, and some people revere certain religions as good. So like you can have an advantage on some things, like for example the gem choppers. You know, if you do Brel Sorellus or whatever his name is, basically the dwarf and gnome god, um, you will have faction with the gem choppers enough to do the actual quests there, versus if you go agnostic you won't have enough faction to do the quests. So um, it usually requires some finagling and tweaking to have the proper faction if you want to do certain quests. But at the same time, though, if you have, you know, certain factions, you know, there are other factions that may be KOS to you. So just kind of interesting. 84%, 85.3, no item either, just experience and 3 copper. Ugh. These quests are pretty lackluster. Tonics for... Okay. Spawns at 7 p.m. game time. Okay, so the roost has definite specific spawn timers. This guy wants Tumpy Tonics. How do you make a Tumpy Tonic? Oh, you got to go to Caledon. You got to get koala nuts. Yeah, that's not... Nope. Hand Tumpy, a water flask and a koala nut. Do this twice. He gives you Tumpy Tonics. Okay, yeah, we're not doing the Tumpy Tonics quest. But there is a place you can go to get Tumpy Tonics turned in. Healing. What is this? Lottery ticket. What is this quest? This is a subquest for the Princess Lenia quest, but it's nice in its own right. In East Freeport, go into the Hallard's resales and talk to Tansa Hallard. Okay. You find my aged weapons begging you to shine them up and make them great once more. We will gladly pay you top dollar for all the rusty weapons you find littering in the common lands. I have a special offer for those that have obtained Orc Pawn picks. Okay, this requires us to kill Orc Pawn, so we're not going to do this. There's apparently a high keep lottery, so you can turn these pawn picks in and get lottery tickets. That's kind of interesting. I don't know if it's going to net anything worthwhile, but orc pawns are very easy to kill. They're very low level. And you only need, how many? 2? 4 pawn picks. So pawn picks are very cheap. And Kelethin would have a lot of pawn picks because most of the orc pawns that I've seen walk through there pretty much have a pick. So the Wood Elves would essentially just sell the picks. You could go over to Kelethin, buy a bunch of picks, and then turn them in for these lottery tickets. So let's see how this ends. So you have to go to High Keep, and you have to turn in one of these lottery tickets, I think. If you head to High Keep, you can learn about High Pass Hold Lottery for Jail Clerk Merrill. Okay. Ask about the High Hold Keep Library, or Lottery. Is held every season. The casino treasurer, Lynn, handles all tickets. Information can be found at the vault. Okay. Who was last season's winner? Last season's winner is not known. I have heard from my sources that he is some sort of merchant of used goods. Upon turning in the lottery ticket 16568, the winning ticket, you are the winner of last season's High Keep lottery. Here is the key to the Royal Suite. You will find this room on the 3rd floor. What does that do, though? Does that net us any experience, or? I guess it's to get to Princess Lenya. Yeah, the Princess Lenya quest, though, is just a paladin quest. It nets them a +10 shield, which is actually really nice because it's original era, but there's a lot of shit in the way that you have to do it. But I think that's how you get to Princess Lenya, is you get the key for the Royal Suite, and you can get in there. Maybe, I don't know. I know there's an evil Princess Lenya too, so. Yeah, it's kind of interesting. I never knew that that lottery ticket existed, but apparently there's a one of the lottery tickets. It's the 15600. Actually nets you money: 10 copper, 11 silver, 16 gold. So, I mean, if you can get a bunch of those, I mean, if the York Pond mining picks are like, let's say 7 copper a piece, because I know they're not that expensive. You know, you buy enough of those to turn in to get the lottery ticket 15600. You can turn those lottery tickets in to actually make your money back, if not more. That'd be interesting to try on Eridune. If you can get logged into the server, of course. But you'd also have to take a trip to High Pass Hold, and you'd also have to have faction with High Hold Pass. And you'd have to have faction with High Hold Pass to actually do the quest, which I'm a Dark Elf, that doesn't really help. Yeah, I don't know what the key actually does, though. I guess it's for the Soulfire quest? I don't know. But we will not be doing that quest. This is a warrior quest, but there is no details on how this works. Yeah, there's no details on this quest, so that's kind of empty. And then lastly, it's just the illegible scrolls. Which the illegible scrolls drop off of Orc Oracles. Which I've seen enough of, but apparently it nets you a Cure Poison spell. So that's not too exciting either. But that basically wraps up most of these quests is for North Freeport. So there isn't a whole lot that is of noteworthy. However, we're going to go ahead and log off this character here, and then we're going to go ahead and I'm going to look at how much experience you end up getting with doing the Red Wine quest with Lady Shay. If it's more than the Red Wine quest for the Dark Elves. It may not be, it may be, I don't know. But I have to buy 16 stacks of 1,000 red wine, which is going to cost about 1,000 gold. So, but I have plenty of money, so it's fine. It's all for experimentation. So we will go ahead and delete. Characters due to name map matching. Did I not type it in right? Fantlena. That's probably how I misspelled it. Let's go ahead and log Atari in and let's make sure we have enough money in the shared bank. Making bunnies angrier. Please don't make bunnies angrier. Oh my god, load the zone, please. Man, textures. Hard to load, I guess. Alright. How much money do we have? 17k. There's already a handful in the bank. I'm just going to put a cool 195. That'll do it. Yeah, we don't need those in there. And then, yeah. So we will go ahead and make that character real quick. And it's in East Freeport, I believe. So it's actually going to be a very short... It's not going to be a very long run for us to actually go in there and get the wine really fast. Plus, we're going to have ample charisma where it's actually not going to be that expensive. So we'll go ahead and create the character. It's going to be a human mage. It could be a human anything, really, but we're just going to go with human mage. Random name. Dory. Perfect. Very original. Dory. Yeah, I don't know if this is going to net more experience just because it's going to be less turn-ins. It's going to be a quarter of the amount of turn-ins. But it could be cheaper than the Red Wine Quest for Neriac if we do less just to get to 5, but I don't know. We'll find out here in just a second, though. So we're going to exit this place here, and we're going to shift around to the other side. Oh, we still have to go to a bank, though, so we still have to get money. Banker? Bank is pretty much to the north, and then they're all in here, so it's not going to be very hard. It's just going to be a hop, skip to the jump. Yeah, technically on new TLPs, if the chrono gets there fast enough, if you wait like a week, chrono prices will be at least 1,000. And so if you can get 1,000 gold right off the bat, you can get a character to level 8 easily. But the problem is that you have to wait a week for it to even catch up for the economy, because nobody's going to have that kind of money right off the bat. And fine. So it would probably just be easier if you avoided doing this, but this is kind of the quick way of how you would level up a character. If you were trying to catch up to friends or something, you kind of bypass the first few levels. All right, hog collars. There's Shay. I don't have 16 slots. All because I did not grab a bag from the bank. I'm going to do that real quick, because it's not very far. And we will also have all of the faction with the Kelethan people, so they will definitely like us, that's for sure. Give me my bag. Alright. So now we have 16 slots. So now we should have enough room to get 16 stacks of 1,000 red wine. Feed the lush. There's a produce lady here? What does she sell? Besides the obvious produce. Carrots, grapes, lettuce, and turnips. That's all she sells. It's exciting. What are you doing hanging out here? Let's see. So red wine. Here we go. This will just take a little bit. Yeah, once you get into like the Plains of Power era and the Lucklin era, chronos tend to be worth like 16k. So this is like a drop in the bucket if you happen to purchase a chrono and sell it for money, or sell it for in-game currency. This is not going to give us exactly 1,000, but we'll work with it. For 16 stacks. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Alright, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 stacks. I don't think we'll have enough for another... Yeah, it's 67. It's going to be 67 plat. We only have 62. So 14 stacks. Okay. So, for the first turn in, we're going to go ahead and... yeah. So here we go. Okay, that was level 3, by the way, for 1 stack of 1,000. So that's 67 platinum right there. So 67 platinum again. Level 4. I don't know why my agility is negative for some random reason. So 2 turn-ins netted us to 4th level. So that's 2 stacks at 67. That's 134. It's slowing down a bit. So 4 stacks got us to level 5. So 4 stacks. Uh, 268 platinum will get you to level 5. Now, would that be of any use? Can you get 268 platinum without getting a chrono? Probably not. But let's go ahead and turn in the rest of these. I'm going to turn them in 4 at a time at this point. Yeah, but the experience is definitely suffering. Level 6 with another turn in. Yeah, it seems like every one of these turn-ins is only a single level, if not that. Yeah, that didn't give us a full level. Yeah, so it's not as good. It's definitely not as good. Because I can do 16 stacks to get to level 8, and we only did 14 stacks and got to level 7. Now, that's still pretty good. As far as with getting to level 7 with that amount of turn-ins, it's comparable. So if you didn't want to actually do the Night Elf or the Dark Elf quest because you're not evil, you could alternatively do the Lady Shay quest. It might just take a little bit more. The level 5, though, transition feels about the same. It feels about the same amount of platinum required. Yeah, that quest being as repeatable as it is can net you some pretty fast experience. So that's kind of interesting. that Lady Shay is pretty comparable in quest versus the red wine quest that's down in Neriak. Why they kept the red wine quests pretty much intact, I'm not sure. Um, but alternatively, we could do the white wine quest, and the white wine quest would also net you some experience. I think every white wine was like 1.1%, though. I don't think it was as good. So you would need a lot more white wine. And actually, no, I think the white wine was maybe a percentage. I can't remember. So, but we pretty much completed the Freeport quest chains that didn't require any killing. We did find a good route. We pretty much found a route that involved less so much actually doing the Freeport quests, and more so of actually doing the Kelethan mail run quest. And what's going on, Cookie? And doing the mail run, starting from Freeport, grabbing the Freeport one, grabbing the one on the Butcher Block coast, grabbing the one in Keladim, and then grabbing the one at Felwith, all the way over, netted us half a level without even having to really do anything except for maybe not dying. But since that quest is so repeatable, you can just do that quest over and over and over and over if you really wanted to. And every time you would turn that quest in beyond second level, so once you're second level, every time you do that quest, all 4 of those quests are going to net you about 20% experience. You'll just have to do the run 6 times to get to level 3, whether you want to do that or not. But the 6 times of doing that is going to net you about 12 platinum money-wise. It's going to net you 3rd level, and it's going to net you some other stuff. You're going to be able to buy spells and things like that. If you add the trunk quest in with that, the trunk quest gave us about 20% experience. It was like 20 or 25%. It was a considerable amount. So you could do that at the same time as doing the mail quest, and hopefully by the time you finish the first run, die, respawn, and go grab the next mail and just do the process all over again. Hopefully the trunk has respawn that you can do that quest all over again. I mean, I can try that. What time is it? It's 11 o'clock. There's only one other quest that was in lieu of. I mean, if you did the Akanon mail, but that is so far out of the way of actually picking up that mail quest, though it's another 9 gold. But you'd have to run all the way to Akanon. So you would start in Freeport, you would port over to Butcher Block, or Ocean of Tears, grab the box, port over to Butcher Block, grab the mail there, run over to Kaladin, grab the mail there, run over to Greater Fadark, run to Felwith, grab the mail there, and then run to Kelethan, and then turn everything in. Die, port back, turn in the trunk, which I don't remember where the trunk goes. I think it's in West Freeport. Turn in the trunk, and then go and grab the mail again and start that all over again. I gotta get this back in order. It's not the Hopeless Love. It's Oh, there's a Mar Minnows quest. I think that actually gives you negative faction, though. Oh, no. Yeah, it does. It gives you negative faction, the Knights of Truth. Let's see. Rogue quest. Paladin message. It wasn't the Paladin message, was it? No. Black sash. Purple sash. Oh my god, all these trade skill quests. There's actually a piranha hunting quest. That's interesting. Oh, the Journal Strongbox. Here it is. So this one requires us to go to East... Oh, Lenka Stoutheart. That's interesting. On the ground near the Arcane Science Building to seek Lenka Stoutheart. Okay. Yeah, Nusk Triton. That's the guy that's in the West Freeport. So you'd have to stay bound in West Freeport because you have to go through there, turn in the strongbox, and then okay. So let's take a look at what this would look like. So I'm gonna go ahead and delete this character, even though we just wasted 1,000 plat on her. And then we are going to go ahead. It doesn't necessarily have to be a mage. I mean, it doesn't really matter. We can make it even a monk. Or an enchanter. Save some money. Or even a bard. Let's do a bard, just for fun. As long as I can be agnostic. Perfect. And... oh, wait. We have to have Arcane Scientist faction for this one. So let's take a look at what it looks like if we're... ooh, that sucks. Yeah, since you have to have Arcane Scientist factions with this, ugh. I don't know how you'd get that faction if you could farm that faction up. Is there something that can farm the faction up? Rat Ear Pies, Quellios Reagent, Illegible Scrolls. What are Rat Ear Pies? This is a level 1 quest. Why didn't I see this? Oh, this is in Kenos Hills. Hack! You have to go to all the Kenos Hills to do this one? Baking spirits, cup of flour, and cup of 4 in a mixing bowl. Oh, it's used in the Paul of Opola quest. The Paul of Opola is actually a quest? What the hell is that thing for anyway? I see that thing go for like 3 chronos and I have no idea why. Paul of Opola. Oh, because it has 9 wisdom tied to it? Is it a turn-in? That's kind of interesting. It's a primary, secondary with 9 wisdom. Cleric, Druid, Shaman. Copper ring, gold ring, platinum ring, severed paw, silver ring. What is it? What is it, like a paw with a bunch of rings on it, I guess? This quest is for the Paw of Opola. In the Fish Ale pub in South Quinos, there is a man named Mick Coter standing in the bar. His companion, whose name I forget, will occasionally mumble about someone foolish going after the Paw of Opola. Let me go ahead and... let me see what her faction's like. Yeah, I need a character name. Hold on. Just throw me a random character name there. Her name is Panglagary. Kano's located in West Krana. Oh, wait, no. Ask Mick about the Paw of Opola, and he will tell you that it's a magical item that belongs to some knoll bitch. He will offer to tell you where to find it and buy him brandy. I had to buy 2 to get him to talk, then says that someone calling himself Cannoneel went to find the plains of Krana. Cannoneel is located in West Krana, along with 2 named moles. Okay, Arcane Scientists. Indifferent with the Arcane Scientist, so he will not take the box from me unless I get my faction up. And I have no idea how to get the faction up. Quellios Reagent. This is a Uridin quest. What level is it? It's a level 25 quest, so that's not going to help. There's no faction you can kill to gain more. Mar Minnows. This will kill your Knights of Truth faction, though. How far are we from actual... That's 50. We would need to do this quest 10 times, which would kill our Knights of Truth faction. So, Knights of Truth... Oh, Jesus. Knights of Truth is at 100. We could probably sacrifice that. Actually, we would be dubious, I think, at that point. Oh, that'd be scary. But yeah, that kind of sucks that you can't do... I mean, I wish it wasn't amiable. I wish it was, like... I don't know. Alright, so this guy, Palin, underneath, doesn't require faction. So how would you recover the Knights of Truth, then, at that point? Oh, yeah, there's a lot of... Okay, there's a lot of different quests you can do for this one. Oh, if you do the Postmaster quest, you'll recover some. It gives you at least one. That's weird. The Minnows of Mar will actually give you one? No, that's not right. Yeah, that doesn't work so well. Yeah, I'm not going to rerun it if I know that I can't do the quest on a different character. So, but if you do like a mage, a human mage, but if you're not going to make a human mage, you're not going to make a human anything. That's the shame of it, is like there's much better things to play other than humans. I mean, unless you really want to look like a human, you know, like a human bard or something, but that's very problematic if I wanted to play like a high elf mage and I wanted to do that quest. I'd have to grind faction first, so I would basically be stuck running the male quest. So yeah, not quite worth it. Not quite worth it, sadly. But yeah, I'm pretty much gonna call it quits here for tonight. Just call it an early night, I think. I'll be back at this again on Tuesday. We've got keynotes that we have to do at this point. And then we'll pretty much have a route, I think. I think pretty much the competition is going to be, I mean, Uridites can easily level in 10 or 11 minutes with doing quests. But as far as with the male quest that we do for the Freeport stuff, we can pretty much do the mail quest and then use the money to actually buy a bunch of red wine to maybe top off that level. Because every turn-in is about 6% experience. So you're close. If you can get another, like, 9 gold... So if we did like the Akanon part of the Kelethan mail quest, we would have enough money to where we could buy enough red wine to get enough experience to actually level. So, but anyway, so without further ado, my friends, you all have yourself a wonderful weekend. Stay safe out there and don't get sick.